Welcome everyone. In this deck design video, we're going to be talking through the Blue Aggro Deck. Certain players, such as Airy and Prison SPF, have been using similar decks on the ladder with quite some success, so I wanted to kind of take a stab at it and kind of build my own version and see how it goes. So, right here on the right is the deck list I'm currently using, and let's talk through it briefly about kind of how the deck will work so that we can kind of understand it. There's also a few cards I'm not really sure about, so I just put in a few copies of those and we'll see how it goes. But basically, the idea of the deck is it's a blue deck with all of the symmetric card draw in it. So basically, we have OrbofHopium and Penguin with Hoops. So right, OrbofHopium basically just says at start of action time, each player draws a card. Then we also have Penguin with Hoops, which which says to flop it, each player draws a card. So the idea is there's just going to be a ridiculous amount of card draw on both sides of the board. Then you run a really low curve. So we're running Frosty the Penguin and Penguin Who's Okay as kind of the two drops. And then we're going to run as the three drops Amazing Penguin and Penguin with Hoops. Now you'll notice too that I'm not playing Sneaky Penguin because like right there's really no point for Sneaky Penguin in this deck just because there's already so much card drawing on, so you don't really need to filter what's going on. And you'll notice also we're playing the overstatted penguins. So, right, those will be like the penguins like Amazing Penguin and Frosty the Penguin, which are just pretty highly statted for their size. And we're not like this is why we wouldn't be playing like the Wizard Penguin. Then so the goal is you kind of try to take over the board early with these big early game penguins, play the card draw, get a lot of card draw. Then you have Cannonball Penguin kind of at the higher end of your curve, which also just, is just a beefy 6 vibe penguin. You're also playing Inspiring Story, which means that your like medium-sized penguins will become large-sized penguins to win the vibe checks. And at the very top end, we're running Misplace to kind of lock out your opponent. I just think this card is really, really strong in blue. And then also TidalPenguin. I'm not sure about TidalPenguin, but I think you do end up with 9 rods a lot. So this could be a pretty good closer. So, right, that's kind of the top end. We also then run a removal package. So we definitely want to run for bedtime stories just because that card is so good in blue. And so where's bedtime story? Because right, bedtime story just is basically a as much of a just direct 2 cost removal you can have because the condition is almost always met. And then I put 1 copy of Unlikely Friends in and 1 copy of Bridge to Layer Zero, just because I don't know which one of these is good as that final piece of removal. I also don't even know if you need 6 pieces of removal because you do draw a lot of cards. But so, right, I think you need somewhere between 4 and 8 pieces of removal. So we'll be playing with that. Okay, and I put this one in extra. Okay, so we'll take that out. Whoops. No, we want the non-foil one. Okay. So then also, so that's kind of the removal package. And then, right, there's Send It Too Hard. And so the idea is, right, we take over the board, we as they develop, because right, this isn't that strong of a deck penguin wise. Then we play Send It Too Hard, because they're gonna struggle still to deal with a deck with the board that we build some amount. Well, after we reset the board, because we have Inspiring Story and we have a really low curve, we'll be able to just jump back on the board quickly, then just play Send It Too Hard again. So the win condition is still the mill to basically ice their entire deck. So that's kind of how the deck is. Oh, then there's also Rod of Cheesy Slices. Rod of Cheesy Slices, right? Because that's the whole thing. Like after you play Send It Too Hard, if you have a Rod of Cheesy Slices or two out, then you just mill them so fast on the second pass. So yeah, so that's kind of the structure of the deck. I don't actually. Oh yeah, I forgot SpringaLeak. So SpringaLeak is just so good in blue because right, it disrupts your opponent on that key spell they're trying to play. So yeah, so this is kind of the structure of the deck. I've played a few games with it, done very well with it, but again, I don't think I was in any like until I'm in dummy thick and just playing against other dummy thicks. I'm not 100% sure how strong the deck really is. It's definitely a lot of fun to play. And I actually the Title Penguin is new. My previous games I wasn't playing Title Penguin, so we're gonna see how that goes. I just did notice that I had often a lot of fish, but I guess the problem with Title Penguin is right? If say like we have like 2 Orb of Hopiums on the board, that means we have to really play 4 cards a turn. So you can play 1 rod or maybe 2 rods if you're winning the vibe check, and then you have to play 2 more cards. So TidalPenguin might be hard to squeeze in. But anyway, let's jump into some games and let's see how it goes. All right, looking at this mulligan. Okay, so we have a 2 drop. We definitely want to keep that. And yeah, so all right, so we have the 2 drop, so we'll keep that. I don't think we need the removal. And I think we'll keep OrbofHopium because we can go 2 into 4 if we win the vibe check with 2. All right. So okay, we got Amazing Penguin. So we have and Cannonball. So we have a really good curve. All right. We don't need 2 Frosty the Penguins because there's really only one, right? You only need one for that. All right. So going into our second turn, we have okay, so we'll definitely want to play Frosty. So what do we use as a rod? So I think so we'll oh wait, it's the action phase. Okay. So we don't need to play anything yet. So we're gonna yeah, so we'll play Frosty next turn. And then the question is going to be, what do we use as the rod? So the nice thing is because we're going second, we'll know if we're going to win the vibe check or not. So we can decide then if we can skip Amazing Penguin or not and jump straight to Cannonball. So we do want to be winning the vibe check just so that we can be just ramping out rods as quickly as possible, especially because we already have the Orb of Hopium in our hand. So yeah, so let's see. So, okay, so we'll see what they play. And we're playing yellow, which means we'll definitely need Send It Too Hard. So the goal is going to be, can we get 15 cards? So maybe Unlikely Friend will be useful. Okay, so the question is, do we play Penguin Who's Okay? And I think we don't because we really want to win the vibe check here. So we can use Amazing Penguin though, because we can just straight up skip we can skip the 3 turn and we can go straight into Cannonball. And so, yeah, so we'll win the vibe check here, which will bring us to 4 rods. I mean, it'll bring us to 3, and then we'll play a rod to get to 4 rods. Then we'll play Cannonball, and then we'll play on turn then we can win again, and then on turn 6, we'll play Penguin Who's Okay and Orb of Hopium. So, yeah, so we have a really good curve, a really good aggro curve where we're gonna go out really fast. So we don't need this Amazing Penguin. So we'll play Cannonball, and we'll select them. And so we're also thinking, though, how are we gonna get them to 15 cards. So we have Unlikely Friends. And so this is again, I really don't like this card, but other people swear by it. So I'm just trying it out again because, like, why wouldn't they just let me ice the penguin? But maybe that will buy me one more turn. Or let's say they play something big like a shy penguin, or they have like a flippers on their final turn. So now the alternative would be bridge to layer 0. And in this situation, I don't think bridge to layer 0 is actually going to be helpful either. So, yeah, so I guess it's not really clear if I guess Unlikely Friends is better than bridge to layer 0 against yellow aggro in general. So, yeah, okay, so let's see. So they might do a card draw spell here, but I really don't care about them drawing cards because it doesn't really matter how many cards you have. Like if I'm winning the vibe check and playing a rod every turn and I'm fully using my fish every turn, it's irrelevant about how many cards they have in their hand. And it's actually even better for TidalPenguin for them to have a big hand. So everything is going well. Okay, so I'm gonna actually use Unlikely Friends as the rod just because Inspiring Story is something I will want to play as well because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna send it too hard this game, I'm pretty sure. Assuming I can get them to 15. And then Inspiring Story will be really strong for the post send it too hard. So and this is gonna be a good card for next turn. So let's see. Yeah, so Unlikely Friends, like right, because removing one of these penguins would only put 2 cards in their ice, or Unlikely Friends is basically put 2 cards in their ice. Now we do have the Penguin Who's Okay, which is going to start getting some cards in their ice, but okay, yeah, so maybe I should have played it no, because we just have to play to the curve. I think it's fine. Okay, we got a second cannonball, so that's good. So we will, yeah, so okay, so we're gonna lose the Penguin Who's Okay. So this might be where no, because even if we had Unlikely Friends here, right? If we did Unlikely Friends in response to the Daydreaming, they would just ice 2 cards. So Unlikely Friends is basically the same as a Cool Story Bro in this situation. And so I would rather have a Cool Story Bro than an Unlikely Friends. And I don't even play that card in my deck. So I think yeah, so I think overall not yeah, so okay, so this does make me think like, okay, so what if I had got him? Like, maybe that final removal slot, if I was playing Gotham, then I could have saved my Penguin Who's Okay here. But again, does that really help me? I'm not really sure because, right, we're trying to this is an aggro deck, and we're trying to end the game as quickly as possible. So we're gonna get one more card draw. Okay, so they just get a flying penguin. So if we get one more card draw, what okay, so they're at 6. So I still have some significant work to do on getting them to 15 cards in their ice. So, right, we do have this cannonball. Um, so what do I need to get more? Because yeah, I guess this deck doesn't really have so much icing in it. Um, oh, Rod of Cheesy Slices. Yes, we really need Rod of Cheesy Slices. Like Rod of Cheesy Slices would be such a good draw right now because that would enable me. Okay, so we have SpringaLeak, so that's going to help us. That's going to help us a bit. So I'm going to play the Inspiring Story because it's more fish efficient. Because next turn I can play. Maybe I'll be able to play Cannonball like with something else, and I'm not going to play a Rod this turn um, because I don't I think I'm actually, like, card limited because I wanna keep the SpringaLeak and the SendItTooHard. Maybe I should have played the SpringaLeak, but I guess the SpringaLeak will be good for their finisher. Like, right, if they have a buddy up on that final turn and I need to buy one more turn, then I can use the SpringaLeak on whatever finisher they have. Although, with this many cards in hand, they might have 2 finishers. Okay, see, perfect. Now we can double Cannonball next turn. So, we'll double Cannonball, and that will get them to 12. So then we need one more. Um, yeah. So should I just spring a leak this? No, because I want to win the vibe check. Oh, do I actually want to win the vibe check? Maybe losing the vibe check would have been good. Okay, so they're gonna draw a ridiculous amount of cards, but at least we'll know what we're playing around. But at this point, basically, okay, so that's just one more card draw. That's not a problem. And one flippers. Okay, so one flippers we can spring a leak. Although I guess with this many cards, they can play do they have 9 Pudge? Yeah, they'll be able to play 2 flippers in a turn. The really nice thing is they just got 2 more cards in their ice by playing those spells. So we're only 1 card off. So Unlikely Friends would actually be very good here because Unlikely Friends would enable me to either put 1 card in their ice because it's iced a penguin, or it would give me 1 more card in their ice because, um because they just choose to ice the cards. Oh, there's Unlikely Friends. Okay. So we are gonna be able to get to that 15 point. So we're gonna play double cannonball. So I think yeah, so we'll get them to 15 so we can send it too hard. And yeah, so I think we're in a good spot here now. Because yeah, no matter what, oh, there's Rod of Cheesy Slices, even better. So so we're even at 14. So we might just win this like yeah, we might just win this straight up because, we're gonna get them to 15 anyway with Spring a Leak, right? Because they would play their finisher. Yeah, so so should I? Okay, so the question is, should I try to? Because if I Spring a Leak here, or should I just let the cannonball go? I think I just let the cannonball go, like because if I Spring a Leak, this not your keys. I don't have the Spring a Leak for next turn. Although I guess at this point, let's like send it to hard is happening. So either I'm going to win with this board or I'm going to send it too hard. So one thing I could do too, yeah. So I think at this point, because I didn't spring a leak there, I've committed to playing send it too hard. And so because I'm committing to playing send it too hard, I want to start keeping my hand in a situation for the post send it too hard world, which means I want to have at least 2 penguins in order to then get 2 blue pudge on the board. So I think, yeah. So let's save some. Okay, so we have a second send it to hard. Well, okay, so we'll definitely play the Rod of Cheesy Slices. But we don't even have anything to play with it. So I guess we just pass. So hopefully we'll be drawing with OrbofHopium again. So I think it'll be okay. But yeah, they're gonna still have to play some sort of action card. Okay, so double rod. So we're definitely gonna be able to like really mill them. But the thing is, like, okay, so right now we would win the game, right? 8-8, good. So they're gonna have to play some sort of finisher, and we're not gonna be able to actually play Spring a Leak on their finisher because they might have a second finisher. So we're just gonna have to send it too hard. But in the post send it too hard world, we're gonna have a yeah, the problem is I don't have a penguin in my hand. And this is why I worry about this is why I worry about having all this removal because like unlikely friends, while nice, like it would be better if this was just a random penguin. Like if this was a title penguin right now, that would be that would be what I want. Okay, so they're gonna draw a lot, but again, the thing is they only have 6 fish. So they're going to okay, so they're really drawing. So they're gonna have a lot of cards, but right, the thing is all I need to do in order to win the game is at this point we're going for the decking condition. So they're down to 12 cards. We're gonna deck a lot with RodofCheesySlices, but we need to draw things in order to play RodofCheesySlices. So yeah, so I think there's too much removal in the deck. Like I wish this was a title penguin. So okay, so we're gonna play another RodofCheesySlices. Okay, so it's a little sad that we don't have anything else to play. Um Yeah, so okay, so what we really need is we need 2 penguins because if we can get 2 penguins, then yeah, we just to produce 2 Pudge. And again, like this is also why I don't like the wizard penguin in this deck because we need the Pudge immediately because the idea is we need to keep them from okay, there's 1 penguin. Perfect. Oh, and they're going to win the vibe check, which is actually good for us because that means we draw 2 cards. And with Rod of Cheesy Slices times 3, we are basically going to be getting rid of 6 cards with penguin. So I think we might even mill them this upcoming turn. And okay, so inspiring story, not great. I really want another penguin, but we're yeah, so is inspiring story maybe not the right card and should I just be playing more blue penguins? But inspiring story was really good for kind of that mid game area. Okay, see, look, they can't even get to 14. Oh, Frosty the Penguin, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna play the other Rod of Cheesy Slices. Then we're gonna play, right? Then we're gonna play Frosty the Penguin. We're gonna play Penguin Who's Okay. Whoops, why did this not play? Then we're gonna play Inspiring Story. Okay, so now we have 17. We actually have a big board, and they're out of cards now, right? Yeah, because they're gonna be completely out of cards. Okay, so yeah, so we win. Okay, so overall it worked well, but yeah, my feeling is that there's too much removal. So I'm gonna take out. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about the deck after the game. So yeah. Okay. So so they're gonna try to win the vibe check, but doesn't matter. Um, no, because even if they win the vibe check, they're gonna lose at the start of the next turn. So it doesn't matter. And here, I guess here, unlikely friends also wouldn't have. I could have bedtime storied. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really matter because they're out of cards in their deck. So overall, yeah. So overall, the deck worked. I do think yellow is like a good matchup for it. So yeah. So right now here they can't draw a card. Right. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So it looks like we won. But yeah. So let's jump into the deck list and take a look at it because I don't like. I feel like we need more penguins because we ran out of penguins, and this has happened to me before. So let's go into here. So let's edit the deck. And let's take a look at the penguin situation because I think we need more penguins and less actions. So okay, so the first thing we'll do is take wait. Bridge to layer 0 is only 1 copy. Unlikely friends is only 1 copy. Okay, so all right, so let's look at the deck from a okay, so what are the actions in it? Bedtime story, bridge to layer 0, send it too hard, SpringaLeak, unlikely friends, and that's it. So maybe did I just draw all my actions? Because yeah. Okay, let's leave it like this then. I thought we had 2 of each of these, but I guess we only have 1. So, yeah, but I was pretty unimpressed with unlikely friends there. So, I'm not even sure. Um, but yeah, what I guess a title penguin is 9. So, I think having I guess we really don't need more than 9. What are the other cards we could put in? We could put in jealous penguin. Like, Jealous Penguin could be interesting at the 5 slot. Maybe we take out, 2 Inspiring Stories for 2 Jealous Penguins, because yeah, but Inspiring Story did so well. But okay, let's do this just to, like, play around a little bit with the 5, because like well, no, but Jealous Penguin doesn't even produce Blue Pudge, right? Because it'll produce whatever Pudge the opponent has. Fact Finding is definitely not good. What is a Painter Penguin? No, we're not gonna have 4 action cards in our ice for sure. Um, okay, so I guess let's just play some more games with it like this. But yeah, I think the Title Penguin would have been good there, but I guess it wasn't necessary. So maybe the deck is good like it is. Okay, jumping into the second game, looking at our mulligan. All right, so we don't need all these inspiring stories. It's a little sad because we won't be playing with it. But yeah, I think we basically full mulligan because we need the early game. Now, this does make me think about the 2 drop because we only have 4 2 drops, 8 2 drops in the deck. Basically, the Frosties and the Penguin Who's Okay. So I do think we're going to need more 2 drops. So I think that might actually be what's missing. So let's when we look at the deck list again, we will I think we need to put in 2 drops, but I don't even know what to put in. I guess we put in Bottle Penguin. But Bottle Penguin just seems so yeah, it just seems so bad in this deck because it's not that big. But okay, so let's see. Um, what do we not need? I guess we don't need both bedtime stories because yeah, like I mean again, yeah, I think in this deck like removal is really secondary because we are really playing more for Send It Too Hard. So I think yeah, so I guess Bottle Penguin is might be good for just getting us over the edge, getting those final cards in. So if we put in so I think we put in Bottle Penguin and we take out the 2 extra pieces of removal and maybe 2 inspiring stories. Because 4 inspiring stories, I guess like inspiring story is just there as just a little like booster, but you don't really need 4 of them because we're really going more for Send It Too Hard. All right, so we don't need both 3 drops, I think. Although, yeah, so I think we'll use Amazing Penguin because Penguin with Hoops has that card drop built in, and right, there's no point to keep Amazing Penguin because right on turn 4 we're going to be playing Cannonball anyway, and so we already have a 6/5 Penguin. So what's the point of having the other one? Um, so I guess there's some discussion. Is Amazing Penguin right? Should we put Sneaky Penguin in? I don't think that that's I don't think that that's gonna be necessary just because or I think, like right, because Sneaky Penguin, right, what's the point of filtering when you're just drawing so many cards? Alright, so we definitely wanna keep Send It Too Hard because that's, I feel like, a card that I'm always looking for. And so against green, I think Bedtime Story is more important than SpringaLeak because green plays, like, a few big penguins, and so we'll just be yeah, so I think Bedtime Story will be better. Okay, so let's get the card draw started. Um, and so let's see. Okay, so right, because there's no yeah. So the problem with green is it's going to be hard for us to win the vibe check because green is just generally big. So we'll, I mean, maybe with Cannonball and Inspiring Story, we could maybe get there. But I think we're also just back on this plan of Send It Too Hard. I think the other, I guess, reason we want to be winning at least a few vibe checks is so that we can get RodofCheesySlices out as quickly as possible. So okay, another bedtime story. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I just think there's too many actions in this deck. There's so many times where it's just like I just have a handful of actions, and so I think yeah, I think we'll make the adjustments with the bottle penguin, and then um yeah, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so all right, so we got misplace. So misplace can be interesting against against green. So let's see. Okay, so bedtime. Okay, so 3 bedtime stories. Definitely not what we need. Although the question is now with do we want to be using bedtime story here? Like we could get rid of one of these penguins, but I guess there's no reason. Well, we could get rid of the sliding penguin, but I guess there's no. Yeah. So do we want to get rid of the sliding penguin? Because is it really hurting us? So next time we're gonna play inspiring story, and we don't really need the card draw. Okay, so I guess we will use bedtime story on the yeah, let's use it on there because we have 2 bedtime stories and we don't really need to draw cards right now because we have plays for the next 2 turns. So we'll be able to get Inspiring Story down, and then Misplace. And then when we get Misplaced down, we'll have, Pudge for the second bedtime story while still using the Penguin with Hoops, or we'll be able to win the vibe check. So, yeah, okay, so we're not really doing a great job at winning the vibe check early. So they're ramping rods faster than us. Okay, so yeah, so if we'd been winning the vibe checks, we could have gotten the Rod of Cheesy Slices down a turn earlier. But okay, so we definitely, yeah, so, but okay, so the question is we basically need to buy time as we wait for, okay, so another sliding penguin. So how are we at 4 cards? Okay, so Send It to Hard is still, like, really far away. So, okay, another Cannonball is not bad. So what do we need as the, yeah, so do we actually need Inspiring Story at this point? Because, like, against green, it's kind of gonna be difficult to win. Well, okay, so we should save Bedtime Story for, like, a Romulus or something like that. I guess Misplace is actually the least useful card here because we now have the, Cannonball for that second Pudge. And so the question is, do we actually want to be using Penguin with Hoops to draw cards here? Yeah, I think we do. I think we just need to keep pushing. We're really looking for, or I guess at this point in this matchup, actually, we do want more removal. If I had a yeah, and Inspiring Story also seems really good here because right, I can just remove their big stuff. So okay, so I don't really want to get rid of Inspiring Story. I don't really want to get rid of um yeah, I don't really want to get rid of the removal actually, because I think here it's actually helpful. So I really don't know. Like, what are the bad cards in this deck? Like, again, that aren't working for its game plan. Okay, so now we have TidalPenguin. So this will be an interesting case if TidalPenguin works. Um, okay, so we still need 2 turns. So we'll do a Cannonball. Okay, yeah. So okay, so they're at 9 now. So I think we will get to the condition of basically icing everything. Well, I guess next turn if we play Title. So yeah, we can try to win this vibe check with Bedtime Story or Unlikely Friends, and then we can play Title Penguin next turn. So I guess Title Penguin is going to be good. Um, all right. So in order to yeah, okay. So the question is, all right. So they're going kind of aggressive. So I think we'll be using 1 piece of removal on the Penguin in color. And the question is, well, let's see where they put the +2. But I guess they're going to put it on the they put it on the 6. Okay. So we're winning the vibe check. And so the question is, how are we going to be able to get to? Yeah. So we want to win the vibe check. But how are we gonna get them to 10 cards in their ice? And I think it's gonna be with, yeah, so I think do we do Unlikely Friends or do we do Bedtime Story? No, we don't need Bedtime Story because Bedtime Story is a good removal. So I think do we do Unlikely Friends here? Because, yeah, we can then have 2 okay, so I think we'll do Unlikely Friends on the Penguin in color. And no, wait, because the Penguin in color itself isn't a problem. Yeah, but I think we do it anyway. We don't need to draw cards because we have all the cards we need. So yeah, let's do Unlikely Friends on the Penguin in color. Because if they ice 7 cards, then we're golden because we can send it to hard next turn. But if they ice the Penguin in color, it just knocks them back down, which will buy us. I think we really just need one more turn because we're really trying to get to being able to play Send It Too Hard. So, and right, we're gonna win the vibe check here, unless they play an action, which means we can then play the Title Penguin. And the Title Penguin also, like, if we can get that triggered, that's going to really like that's gonna ice. I guess it's not gonna ice that many cards. So maybe I'm like overvaluing Title Penguin. Maybe that card isn't actually that good. Okay, so but anyway, so let's try it. So right, this will give us 9, so we can play the Title Penguin. Okay, so the other nice thing about the Title Penguin is it's 10 vibe. Okay, so they're at 12. So yeah, so I guess we can't even get Send It Too Hard off. So we needed the Title Penguin in order to Send It Too Hard this turn. Although maybe it won't be required this turn. Yeah, so I think I do really think we need BottlePenguin in this deck. Um, just because, yeah, BottlePenguin is yeah. Well, okay, so here we have 12. Okay, so we're gonna win the vibe check. We're at 14, I guess already. So let's see if they do something because I guess we'll just win the game if they do nothing. So maybe Title Penguin is good. Ugh, this deck list. Like, this is one of those decks where I feel like there's 60 cards that go into it, and I don't know where I need to cut. Maybe do I have too many Send It to Hards? But I feel like that card is, like, so central to the strategy. So, okay, so I guess TidalPenguin works as a 10 vibe. Oh, no, they boosted, okay. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, okay. So, well, anyway, we buy one more turn. So, that means the Cheesy Slices will trigger one more time. Okay, well, I should have used TidalPenguin. Okay, so now I just play my second TidalPenguin. Okay, so now they're at 14 already. Okay, so yeah, so I should have just bedtime storied the points rich. Maybe I should have kept the TidalPenguin for the post. Yeah, for the post for the turn that's after this. After the Send It Too Hard. Well, I guess I could just bedtime story now. So I could try to just bedtime story. Um, or if I penguin with hoops and then double title, how much would each title penguin deal with? It would take care of 3. So 3 wait, so it's ISO cards in their hand, draw that many, so it would do 6 each. So 2 times 6, so it's not really enough. Okay, so I think let's just try to bedtime story the points rich. Let's just see if that is successful. Because if that's successful, we will just win the game. But they might have a what's it called? The escape in time. So if they have escape in time, right, then this won't work. So yeah, so let's see. Okay, so I still feel pretty I feel like we have a decent chance here because right, we can always so they're gonna Luca saves the Penguins. Okay, so at this point, um yeah, at this point we're gonna just clear the board. So I think we will flop um first we'll play it Send It Too Hard, and then we'll use a Title Penguin, I guess. So we'll do oh, I can't Send It Too Hard. Okay, so they're gonna use that one. So I guess okay, so I guess I have to flop this Title Penguin in order to ice their one card. And well, okay, but now wait, are we still gonna win the vibe check? Let's see how this resolves. Um yeah, okay, so wait. So are we yeah, I think we're just gonna win the vibe check now, right? Yeah, so there's no need to play the Send It Too Hard. So I think we just pass. Let's see if they do something because right, we have the Title Penguin at 12. Okay, so Title Penguin was very useful in closing out this game. So I don't think I'm gonna get rid of the Title Penguin either. Okay, so I mean maybe with Send It Too Hard I could have clawed back. Um but okay, so all right, let's look at the deck list again and let's see what we need to do there because it's yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want the removal. I do think that bridge to layer 0. So what would bridge to layer 0 have done here? Not much. So I think bridge to layer 0 is definitely not what we need. So I think if anything we would run unlikely friends, but I'm kind of like, okay, so maybe we just put in 2 bottle penguins because that gets us 10 2 drops. So 10 2 drops is a lot better than yeah, so 10 2 drops is better than 8 for sure because I think 8 is just not enough. So let's look at blue. Let's just look at blue. Because yeah, what are the so we definitely don't want the wizard penguin. That's not good for this deck. So we'll put in 2 of those. And I think we'll take out the bridge to layer 0. And we'll put the unlikely friends. And maybe, yeah, maybe we just take out the unlikely friends. Oh, blue swordsman. Should we no. Because blue swordsman could be interesting, but I think we skip that as well. So yeah, so let's try this. I think yeah, I guess unlikely friends, because like the bottle penguin also is kind of like unlikely friends where it just gives you a little boost. So, okay. So I think maybe SpringaLeak we don't need 4, but SpringaLeak is just so strong. So, okay, so let's try this. Um okay. So let's play one more game and then yeah, we'll see how the adjustments to the deck work. All right, jumping into the third game, let's take a look at our mulligan. And okay, so we have Frosty the Penguin and Amazing Penguin. So good. We I think we want to keep Send It Too Hard because this deck is so based around it. Although we don't have really any cards for putting cards in the ice. So maybe not. Yeah, maybe we get rid of that because yeah, I guess there's 3 in the deck. We don't have any of the card draw. So we have a 2 and a 3. I think we also actually get rid of Inspiring Story because that's more of like a support card and we really want the we really want the card draw cards. Okay, so now we have a better hand. Okay, so I think Misplace can become the Rod just because, right, that's like really the late game kind of finisher type card. Maybe that's actually a card we could cut. We could go down to 2 Misplaces. I didn't really think about that. So, yeah, so maybe okay, so yeah, maybe we could bring back like some removal for some Misplace. So yeah, so I think the questions are like the removal, the Title Penguin, the Misplace. Okay, so we have double orb, so we could just go like absolutely crazy this game. So I think, so do we want to be risky because we could go Frosty? Well, I guess double orb is probably too much. I think let's play this a little safer. Like I think we'll just keep one orb, and we'll go a single orb just because it's like going because if we use to go double orb, we would have had to use Amazing Penguin as a Rod, and if we do Amazing Penguin as the Rod, if they play if we basically don't win this vibe check, so if we tie the vibe check, then we would have had a really bad turn 3. I mean, I guess we could have played the Penguin who's okay, but I don't really know if that's yeah, maybe that would have been fine. Because now we're just gonna go full out. Well, now in the okay, so they're also blue. Okay, so this is gonna become this game is going to become a mess. Okay, so the blue mirror. So this is interesting. So we have a very different setup than them. Um, so yeah, so I think okay, so I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna play the orb because I think we just go for it because we're more aggressive. Well, we want to be winning the vibe check, so maybe we play Amazing Penguin. Yeah, so maybe actually we just play because if we play Amazing Penguin, and I kind of think we're not going to need Send It Too Hard in the blue mirror because we're going to be bigger, I think. So yeah, I think we just want to play aggressively now to just because we're going to draw so many cards because my guess is they're probably also playing some of those card draw cards. So we're gonna do yeah. So next turn will be Orb and Penguin who's okay, and then yeah, because that'll be turn 6. I think we'll win this vibe check because well, maybe they I guess they could play a, what could they play? Yeah, okay, so yeah, okay, so Bottle Penguin, fine, no problem, symmetrical. Um, yeah, so the question though is like, how are we going to make sure that they get iced faster than we get iced? And I guess that's gonna be with Rod of Cheesy Slices because, yeah. So maybe this needs a Bunkus. Well, I guess we really shouldn't tech for the mirror matchup because blue isn't like that common on the ladder. I think this is at least it's very good because we've really faced a variety of decks. So often whenever I'm making a video, it's like we just play some yellow decks, like yellow, yellow, yellow. But this time we've played a yellow, a green, and a blue. So we can kind of see all 3 game plans. So but okay, so SpringaLeak. So SpringaLeak, I guess we just don't need that though, because we'll want the inspiring story for sure. Um, so we just need to go, yeah. So we're gonna go full out. So with the Orb of Hopium, right? That's really good with a penguin who's okay. And like, right, if we look at our rods, we already have 6 rods. They're gonna have 4 rods, and we're gonna ideally keep winning the vibe check. Although this turn they could play cannonball, which means we might tie the vibe check. But then starting next turn, say, yeah. So inspiring story again is seeming very good here. So I don't really don't yeah. It's like I don't want to get rid of any of the cards. Okay, so they also have a penguin who's okays, which is gonna be not ideal for us. So because yeah, it's gonna be symmetrical. Um okay, so but yeah, so okay, so title penguin could be good because they're gonna have a full hand. And yeah, so I guess again, maybe I should put 4 title penguins in this deck. Is it? Yeah, so, so yeah, Mischief, I think is maybe the card. But yeah, with Mischief, maybe we can lock out something good. All right, so yeah, so that's not ideal that we're gonna lose our penguin who's okay because that means our Orb of Hopium is actually gonna help them help them get rid of, you know, yeah, because they'll be able to ice cards with penguin who's okay. So this deck is definitely not optimized for the mirror at all, or I guess it's not even the mirror because they're probably playing a different version of blue. So yeah, we'll see. But I guess maybe if I get a Send It Too Hard, I can reset the board and then like come back on it. So yeah, I guess the other card with Title Penguin, like if we go more the Title Penguin route, then we could play What a Twist because then you can double activate it. But again, I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. So okay, so what do we really want? We really want like some RodofCheesySlices. Okay, so we're gonna be fully out of cards this turn. So yeah, so because right, we can play we'll play a rod and then we'll play these two. Okay, so is there something we want to misplace? Not really. So okay, we definitely want an inspiring story. And or I guess we can just keep the misplace in our hand. We'll just play the Frosty. And because we don't need because if we draw a title penguin, then we can next turn yeah. If we draw a title penguin, next turn we can what's it called? We'll be able to we'll still be able to play it because we can play a rod and we'll win the vibe check. I think we'll win the vibe check because we have inspiring story. Now, misplace, what we really want to hit is a send it too hard because I think we're gonna win on board control. So, but right now, all they have in is Penguin with Hoops, Bedtime Story, and Blue Wizard Penguin. So those are all not cards that are those are all not cards that I'm really wanting to block with misplace. So okay, so they got Inspiring Story too. So okay, so Amazing Penguin, not really what we need. But I guess we're just gonna go for the win next turn. Because we can also lock out Bedtime Story, which is their main removal. So oof, we lost both our title penguins, so that's not happening this turn. So is there a chance we just end the game next turn? Um, so what would be yeah, because we're at 7 cards, so 8. Yeah, so I think we're gonna not be at 15 unless they have some cool story bros. Um, what did we get? We got Penguin Who's Okay, so we can lock out Bedtime Story, which will help on the removal front. Um, although they yeah, and we can get to can we get to 15 cards? Um, yeah, we can get to 15 cards, I think, because um we'll be at 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 rods if we want to be. All right, so they'll play the bedtime story now though. Okay, so yeah, so that's a little so we can lock out the other bedtime story, but at this point they've already played 2 of them. So I don't really know. Yeah. So with misplace, it could be kind of more difficult. Yeah, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, this is an interesting question. Like, what well, we'll see what we draw. I don't even know what would be good at this point. Okay, so SpringaLeak, that would have been a good card to have because if we had a SpringaLeak in our hand, yeah, we could definitely so do we want Bounce House Rod in this deck? That seems crazy. Okay, so the only way we're gonna lose is if they clear the board, right? Um, but I think we just go for it. I think we misplace. I think we do the bedtime story just in case they have another one. And then I think we do the yeah, I think we just go all in because yeah, because I want to go to 15 because that means if they play a 6 vibe penguin, we'll be tied and I'll still win. Um and yeah, I just don't want to give them an additional turn. So the question is, can they get out of this? I mean, so they can't get out of it with bedtime story. If they have unlikely friends, right, they could get out of it if they can get ascended too hard. So there's definitely ways because there's gonna be 2 cards with the penguin who's okay and the bottle penguin. So that'll get me to 13. So there's definitely a chance that send it too hard will end this. Um, but I guess in the case where that happens, well, we could also draw a Spring of the Leak off of the Orb of Hopium. So, well, there's 2 Spring of Leaks here already, so there's only 1 left in the deck. Yeah, but right, we need to just try to win this game because right, because they got rid of our Penguin Who's Okay, and they've been just, getting rid of a lot of the cards with Penguin Who's Okay. Okay, so alright. So they're definitely going to, well, the good news is if they send it to hard here, well, we got our own send it to hard, which is not very useful for us because we're planning to win. So, okay, yeah, so if they send it too hard, then what happens? Yeah, so they can definitely get us down to 15 because they can do Penguin with Hoops with the Penguin who's okay. That'll be 1 card. Bottle Penguin, Bottle Penguin. So, yeah, so if they send it too hard, so we need to start thinking about how we're going to react to send it too hard, but there's really nothing we can do, right? We just accept it. And we just say, okay, we're going to have more rods than they do, and we'll be able to jump back on the board quicker. And, right, they're up. So they'll have 4 cards to our 1 card, but they have to play the send it too hard. So it'll be 3 cards to 1 card. So card advantage wise, I think it's gonna be, okay, so we have Penguin with Hoops. So we'll be going so we have 1 Penguin to play. I really would like a rod of we haven't seen a single rod of cheesy slices yet, in the entire so all 4 are at the bottom 21 of our deck. Or wait, maybe there's some in here. Nope. So, okay, so yeah, so SpringaLeak would have been super, super good in this situation, right? Because we could lock them out of the game. But okay, so yeah, so they are going to yeah, so they'll send it to hard here. And then I mean maybe there's some small chance they don't have it, but I think that's, yeah, very unlikely. Okay, so how do we deal with so but post send it to hard. So the nice thing is we still have these 2 permanents. So we're at 11. So can we get to 15 if we draw 1 card? No. So we're gonna need at least 2 more turns. So how many cards are left in our deck? 20. So there's still quite some time left in the game but yeah, so now we can just okay, so Rod of Cheesy Slice is perfect. So we will get we're gonna start getting our mill down. So okay, so 25 to 19, but I think it's gonna be hard for us to catch up on the destroying the deck standpoint. But okay, so so the question is do we wanna draw with Penguin with Hoops or not? We'll see what they do. But again, right, they only have 6 fish, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So again, so this is one of the kind of ways about this deck being an aggressive deck. But yeah, so I guess we should probably draw with Penguin with Hoops because we want to spend as many fish as possible next turn. And so right, we're gonna then be able to get okay, so Mischief is not really a problem. Let's see what we draw here. Cannonball. Okay, so maybe there's a chance we'll even maybe there's a chance. So we're not gonna win the vibe check anyway. So let's use Penguin with Hoops. So yeah, so okay, so the question though is how are we gonna actually win the vibe check? Because the Mischief 8, we don't really have a way to deal with it. So hmm. Yeah, so well, this game is gonna end very soon, but yeah, so let's see. Um, Second rod of cheesy slices. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be very difficult to catch up because even if we get rid of 4 cards a turn, we're down to 13. So, well, we also have the cannonball. Well, and they're not gonna be able to flop the mischief once I get the cannonball down. And we could send it too hard to reset the board. So, okay, so well, we definitely don't need that. Oh, so we won the vibe. Okay, they chose not to win the vibe check, which is okay, so now let's see. Okay, so they're at 15, we're at 12. So we're slowly catching up on the and we're at 15. So they have to do something this turn. We're gonna win the vibe check because Cannonball is the biggest, is gonna be tied to the biggest, and we're at 15. So yeah, so this is an interesting situation. So an inspiring story is just again being really strong. So I don't think that there's a world where I want to remove that from the deck. Yeah, so I think the card that is most standing out to me to remove is what's it called? Um Misplace. So if we got rid of Misplace, got rid of 2, the additional removal, okay, but so right, the thing is here they can just send it to hard. Right? That might be what the plan is here, just to do send it to hard again. Okay, so we got a bedtime story, which isn't gonna help us against send it too hard. But so let's see. So we're at 11, they're at 13. All right, so I think we just pass because right, we'll win the game if they don't do something. So they have to send it too hard, and then I can penguin with hoops. Yeah, okay. So again, my hand is full of action cards. So I don't. Okay, so this. Okay, so maybe they have a what a twist. Maybe the plan is to do this and then what a twist. Um, wait. Okay. But this is good because if they do what a twist now, I can bedtime story the mischief. And then they won't be able to actually have 2 Pudge to send it too hard. Um, well, no, because at this point, yeah. Hmm. Because if I do that, I'll be flopped out, and then I won't win the vibe check, and then they can what a twist the other one. So I think I need to wait for the what a twist to get played. I'm down to 3 cards in my deck. So Um, okay, but cool story, bro. All right, but if I win the vibe check, it's not a problem because I'll still win the game, I think, before. Yeah, okay, so I think I will win the game here. So wow. Okay. So we ended up winning this. Um I'm honestly like a little surprised by that, but yeah, I think that was very close. And so cool. Okay. So all right, so we went 3 for 0 with the deck. And so I think there's definitely potential here. Before we sign off, let's look at the deck list one more time and try to see if we want to reflect on how we want to change it. So let's see. Cuz I just feel like I had too many. I think the removal. Oh, we already removed the removal. Okay. So then the question is, so I think we want to let's turn Bottle Penguin to 3 and misplace the 3. So I think that's maybe the kind of trade-off that I'm thinking about because having a little more early game. But right again, Bottle Penguin isn't really great for this deck. Is there not any other 2-cost penguin that could be good here? So in blue, we got the wizard, Frosty, no, so nothing I really want there. So in all penguins, yeah, what's like what support a friend? Like that seems no, because we need the pudge. Like that's the whole point is the pudge. So maybe swordsman, but again, I don't think swordsman because we want to actually have cards on the field. So okay, so let's leave it like this, and we'll like as we play more games, we'll decide between Bottle Penguin and Mischief. But okay, cool. All right, so thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. And also, if there's any specific types of decks you want me to play or types of videos to make, please just let me know in the comments. And yeah, until next time, thanks everyone.